My name is Dinah Handel. I'm a student at Hampshire College, and I support the divestment from Israeli occupation by Hampshire College. It's really exciting news, and I called my parents immediately, and they were excited as well, and it's something to be proud of, I believe, and I look forward to remembering back at this time in many years from now and looking at it with friends, and I'm really proud of the work that many student activists did on this campus, and they deserve great recognition for their work that they've done.
Thanks.
I'm Sarah Tisdale, and I'm from Hampshire College, and I support SJP because I do not like the idea of the money that I give the school being a part of something that we profit from other people's pain and occupation, and it's just something I don't feel comfortable about.
I'd like to read a quote that is from Winston Churchill in 1937. The quote goes, "I do not agree that the dog in the manger has the final right to the manger, even though he may have lain there for a very long time. I do not admit that right. I do not admit, for instance, that a great wrong has been done to the Red Indians of America, or the black people of Australia. I do not admit that a wrong has been done to these people by the fact that a stronger race, a higher grade race, a more worldly wise race, to put it that way, has come and taken their place." And he was actually saying that of the Palestinians in 1937. And to give it, I just don't want to see the trend that was set by those world leaders in 1948, one of whom was Winston Churchill, to continue. So in signing the petition to petition the school to divest from the Israeli occupation, I'm in a small way adding my name and adding my voice to call for the end of colonial occupation.
Hi, I'm Corey. I'm a Hampshire College student, and I feel like there's so much I could say right now, but I'll just say this, that as an institution in the United States, we have so much power, and as a student here, I think it's our responsibility to make a stand, and I'm sure that fellow students have already said that, but I mean to reiterate that because I don't think it can be said enough, and our actions in divesting speak so loudly, and I just really think that we can't reiterate that enough, and regardless of all that's being said right now in the media, we've divested, and that's amazing. So that's what I want to say.
I'm Max. I don't think that people see the occupation of Palestine as an issue in mainstream consciousness, and I think that it's being brought to the forefront. I think that there hasn't been enough mainstream media coverage of Palestine and of the situation in Palestine, and you have to dig kind of deep to access the true story of what's going on in Palestine. You have to look at British newspapers and Al Jazeera and kind of alternative media, and I think it's sort of normalized, support for Israel is normalized in mainstream society because it's just people are pretty much off the bat, it's sort of innocent until proven guilty. People are right off the bat going to support Israel just because there's such strong ties between Israel and America, and nobody has bothered to question the relationship between Israel and America. And I just think it's great, and I think Hampshire, Hampshire was at the forefront of divesting from South Africa, and that was a really important symbolic movement, and I think this will also be important symbolically. If it won't have an effect on the economy directly, it might start that chain reaction that will get other people thinking about it.
I think that divestment from the occupation of Palestine is incredibly important on several on several levels. I think obviously the most pressing is that this is a legal military occupation that has been going on for 42 years. And even before that, the state of Israel is based on dispossession and ethnic cleansing. But also for me, I think that, interestingly enough, like Israel and Palestine could be a crux from which political activism in the United States at colleges becomes revitalized. Because, I mean, the depoliticization of the school for like the past like 2 or 3 decades, and it hasn't been uniform obviously, but the university does not have the same place in civil society as it used to. It's been isolated and turned into like a source of financial accumulation, and like I really think that like students becoming involved with understanding Israel and Palestine, which goes beyond Israel and Palestine and the disposition of the Palestinians. It's about U.S. foreign policy, empire, and a post-colonial world, and basically like an anachronism in our day and age is a directly colonial power, so to speak. So I mean, these are things that, like, if the West wants to have any legitimacy in the next centuries, it will be judged for this and how it came out of this and how it handled it and how it understood it while it was happening. It's like, I think that the West and its legacy is going to be remembered most in the most like long-term way via the lens of Israel and Palestine, because Israel represents, something that I really like Epel Ahmed, he writes about this, and he says that Israel, our colonial past, neo-colonial present, and post-colonial future, all converged around the question of Palestine, and basically saying that it represents like the extent of like the West's sovereignty over the rest of the world, you know what I mean? And that was really powerful to me, because like I always felt like a special significance to it, you know what I mean? And just to hear it said like that, you know what I mean, is really powerful, but I mean, what I was basically alluding to though is that I mean, right now it's been very accepted that this has turned into an issue where like that Judaic identity is represented via the state of Israel, and therefore to be against the interests of the state of Israel is to be against the Jewish people as a whole. This conflation has served the interests of people who want to apologize and continue Israel's illegal expansion into the West Bank and the Palestinian territories as a whole, as it's been doing since its inception. These arguments really benefit that agenda more than anything else, because they're most often used to deflect questions that are very legitimate about Israel's human rights record that have nothing to do with the Jewish character of the state.
Well, how I feel about the divestment, I'm actually very proud to say that I am a Hampshire student. I came here with the intention of being in an environment that takes a very radical stance on world policies, like personal identities. This is a very, very exciting moment, and I really hope that we will continue as a community to represent ourselves within the Hampshire community, within the national community, and within an international community, and hopefully there will be a ripple effect throughout the nation of divestment, and realizing like how important it is for us as college students, as young people, to be that change and be, that catalyzing mark of change and hope, and like, yeah. That's it.